I'm smiling because I'm smiling through the pain. I'm honestly smiling through the pain right now, Shasky. It's because I was away from my phone yesterday for about 3 hours.
Which is rare in this day and age.
Rare, but I was away from my phone for 3 hours. Had some things to do. And I get back to my phone, and there's a plethora of text messages, tweets, voice messages, phone calls. And I just clicked on the button, clicked on one of the texts, and it said, Brock Purdy is in concussion protocol.
It escalated so quickly.
Sam Darnold may start on Sunday against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, nothing is official. It won't play the Shanahan sound. Look, Brock Purdy can go through the week without practice, without any reps, and still start on Sunday. It's possible.
At this point, when it comes to the Niners and the quarterback,
anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Somewhere Kevin Garnett is screaming into the air, holding a 49er helmet.
So now,
right?
We are. It may be Sam Darnold time against the Cincinnati Bengals to avoid a 3-game losing streak. Sam Darnold. I just, your thoughts when you saw the alert. We'll start right there, Shasky.
Okay, so
when you saw the news,
it went down different for me.
Yeah, let me take me through your day, how you found out, because I got back to and I called you and I said, bro, what just happened?
Yeah, I had to explain it to you again.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at my phone and I'm going back and forth and I'm doing work from the desk trying to prepare, and all of a sudden I see Ian Rappaport. Oh, Purdy's in concussion protocol. I flipped to Twitter because you got the alerts. Yeah. I flipped to Twitter and every beat writer, Purdy's in concussion protocol. I'm like, when? How? What? And then out of nowhere, the Twitter, what would you call them?
Doctors?
No, not even the doctors, but like
all
down the rabbit hole Twitter people that are out there that will cancel you out of nowhere for something you did in your past. They're like, it was on this play. And like the next thing you know, we know exactly what play it was within a minute. And then 2 minutes later, here comes Adam Schefter dunking over the top with it's going to be Sam Darnold time, because no quarterback since the Tua thing last year, Kenny Pickett was before it. In the last 2 years, only Kenny Pickett has returned within the week after being in the protocol as a quarterback in the concussion protocol within the same time frame. Wow. So since the Tua thing, we've been extra sensitive as an NFL league, if you will, putting people out there. Now, John Feliciano for the Niners got multiple concussions back-to-back weeks and played that week. But that's a lineman, and I'm not trying to be sadistic, but like the quarterback is more high profile. Many thoughts. First thought I said is, oh my God, the overhit on my 1.5 quarterback, will play for the 49ers as a starter.
That was a lot,
instantly. Number two, the Sam Darnold conspiracy theory that you and I had walking off that practice field after 3 or 4 practices, that hit, okay? And then number 4 was, dear God, every single time you think the Niners have their guy, something weird happens. Something weird happens. Just entertain me here for a second. And I'm going to go down the Sam Darnold rabbit hole in a second. Alex Smith was playing the best football of his career.
Yep.
And he gets concussed, never to be the starter ever again. Colin Kaepernick was playing the best football of his career. And then, the whole organization imploded. He as well, right? The whole organization imploded. All right? Brian Hoyer was not playing the best football of his career. Neither was C.J. Beathard. But they get Jimmy Garoppolo, and he was playing the best football of his career, it felt like, in 2017, up until that point. You roll it into the next year, and he tears his ACL. Go back to 2020. He was not playing the best football of his career. High ankle sprain, it got weird. In fact, I would argue it got weird in the playoffs the year before. It got real weird, really weird. 2021, it was weird the entire year. It's Trey Lance. It's Jimmy. It was weird week 1. They had a guy who had never taken a snap in the NFL throw the first touchdown pass of the year, only to yo-yo back and forth between the healthy quarterbacks to find their way somehow, some way in the NFC Championship game, only for that to get weird in the fourth quarter, only to say, we're never going to go back to Jimmy, and we're going to hand the reins to Trey Lance. And then it got weird again, and they brought Jimmy back. And then it got weird in week 2 when Trey snaps his ankle and we went back to playing 49er football and the locker room got weird. Jimmy was playing the best football of his career. Then he goes down with a broken ankle, and then some guy out of nowhere ends up uniting and rallying the locker room, and he's the unquestioned leader and plays unreal football, only to see it get weird again because Jimmy could be healthy for the NFC Championship game, but chooses not to. I mean, Bonte, to say that the 49er quarterback position is weird is an understatement.
Let me ask you this right off the rip.
It's got to be the weirdest position.
You went down that rabbit hole.
I'm sorry.
You went down that rabbit hole.
Am I wrong?
So, no, let me ask you this then. Since you want to go there, you brought up Alex Smith, who set ratings records on Monday Night Football against Arizona, suffered a concussion, and never saw the field again. Didn't even get a podium at Super Bowl Media Day. Was on the turf with everybody else, with the practice squad players. Get interviewed by Deion Sanders.
By the way, I will not
how
forget
uncomfortable
that
it was.
We tied. The game that he got concussed in, we tied.
They tied the Rams
Jeff
in
Fisher.
overtime. Yeah,
he
Jeff
did
Fisher.
2 fake punts.
Yeah, and then they beat them 16-13 later on in the season.
I love you.
At the Dome.
This is why I love you.
Listen.
That's why I love you.
Would you be surprised, honestly? I'm dead serious
What's
here.
that?
And this is to all the roasters. 888-957-9570. Would you honestly be surprised if Purdy didn't see the field again this year? Considering how weird this quarterback situation is.
That's my point.
Anything is possible now.
From now on, I am never speaking in conclusive terms like ever again when it comes to Niner quarterback.
We don't know. Listen, this is an audition.
I'm so guilty.
This is an audition for Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold could put himself back on the map with a historic performance on Sunday. He could kill a couple birds here. Number one, he looks like a competent quarterback and lights up the Cincinnati Bengals, a playoff team.
Yeah.
You help the Niners snap a 2-game losing streak. You go into the bye week feeling good. And how does it look?
With no weapons.
With no weapons. How does it look? Because we got a bye week coming up. And if he lights up Cincinnati.
God.
And he looks good.
Oh, God.
Because let's be real. Look, listen, you brought up something about Twitter. And I feel like I can't be myself and talk about the Niners quarterback.
Why?
And what I mean by that is because people are ultra sensitive. I can't critique Brock Purdy in a way that I want to critique him because I get worried about being labeled a hater or you don't like this guy. I like Brock Purdy. I like everything about the story. This is a hell of a story. I'm rooting for the kid. To blow us away to be the last pick of the NFL draft and win your first 10 regular season games. But let's be real. The last 2 weeks, we've kind of given Brock Purdy a pass because of those first 10 games.
No, I would agree. But 10
games
were great.
10 games were great.
They were great.
But Garoppolo's first 5 games were really good. They were really good. And
the
he
roster's
had no
so
weapons.
much better. It feels so
But
like with Purdy, the success feels bigger. You know what I mean? Everything feels bigger.
It feels bigger. But 2017, Jimmy Garoppolo had a stinkeroo into the playoffs in 2018. He won 5 games
and he was doing it
with no weapons.
With Lewis Murphy.
Marquise Goodwin, Kendrick Bourne, Trent Taylor.
And Carlos Hyde was your running back.
Hyde was your running back.
Carlos Hyde.
People forget Jimmy's first full season with the 49ers.
You know,
they advanced to a Super Bowl. They were 13-3. And we thought, boy, oh boy, we got our quarterback. But no, it wasn't the case. Wasn't the case at all. Sam Darnold could go out there and turn into a pumpkin and be the Sam Darnold that we all grew to love with the New York Jets, throws 3 picks, and all this is moot. But you don't believe that Sam Darnold is auditioning for a job?
Well, I think it's okay. The concussion is real. I think Kyle really likes Purdy. I think he also simultaneously, independent of Purdy, would like to get a look at Darnold because he clearly has a fascination with him. I could feel it watching at practice during the preseason. You could see it by the actions that the organization took signing him. When did they sign him in free agency?
The second day of free agency.
You could see it in the bonus structure of his contract where he gets $300,000 for 25% or more snaps taken in any victory with the 49ers.
Right.
Sam Darnold, look, we could argue about what he is. He didn't come here to be a backup and hold the clipboard.
Mm-hmm.
I think whether he was promised or insinuated that he was going to get an opportunity, it sure feels like it. But here's where I struggle with this, B. Purdy was so good for so long. I find it hard to believe that Kyle's just all of a sudden done with him after 1 week of Sam Darnold.
But you know what? Let's be real.
But I've seen crazier things.
The last 2 weeks.
I'm not omitting any possibility anymore because to me, that is foolish.
Listen,
given what we know about this team, that coach, that position.
Well, I'm just thinking about Kirk Cousins lighting up the 49ers in front of Kyle Shanahan. And Brock Purdy throwing 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter. That was Jimmy. The whole show would have been about Jimmy throwing 2 picks in the fourth quarter. That was Trey. It would have been the whole show. Instead, we started the show ripping Steve Wilkes, ripping the defensive line. We gave a quarterback a pass for the first 2 hours of the show on Tuesday. There's no passes for throwing 2 fourth-quarter interceptions. And the last 2 weeks, all I've seen is a bunch of slants, in routes, where's the throws outside the numbers. So it's looked a little limited. Now, we gave him a pass because Cleveland had the top defense. But then there's Niner fans saying, well, hold up. Wait a minute. Gardner Minshew and the coach just dropped 38 on the Cleveland Browns. Why did we look so bad against them? So we gave him a pass for Cleveland. Though we gave him a pass.
I think he earned it. For the most part. He earned it.
He earned it. We gave him. It felt like Jimmy earned it too. And the minute he struggled in the playoffs, we were all out on him. Not everybody, but a lot of people were out on him. We did not give him that pass.
After 4 in about 7 weeks of some of the best passing performances in the second half I'd seen from a Niner quarterback in years.
Yeah, and people were out on him after the Minnesota game.
But
in the divisional round. And so, I don't know what could happen with Shanahan. Again, Shannon Sharp said this a month ago, maybe even longer than that. The Shanahans do not believe in patience. Mike Shanahan and Kyle do not believe in patience. Unc, as they call him. Shannon Sharp on First Take. I've known Kyle since I was 12. I've known Mike a long time. One thing I know is they don't have patience. And Shanahan's face after that second interception was a look I've seen before. It's a look I've seen he have for Jimmy Garoppolo. It's a look I've seen him have for Trey Lance. It was a look of disgust. So for Shanahan, it feels like he treats quarterbacks like running backs.
That's actually...
What have you done for me lately? Who's healthy? And you don't think the Kirk Cousins rumors are back, number one.
What is it about quarterback? Is it strictly if you throw back-breaking turnovers,
he can't
I'm done with you? Is that what it is?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like, and I'm not stirring up anything. If you haven't watched Shanahan for 7 years and watched
his actions have told you how.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But here's what I would say. I think you have to allow things to play out.
We do.
And I also believe that I want to see what his actions are after this week, regardless of performance. Let's say mediocre, Niners win. That would still be a huge win for the Niners. All right? Not mediocre. Let's say poor performance, Niner lose. I think we're going right back to Purdy.
Yeah,
I think we're a little ahead of ourselves. I understand where you're going with this because, Bonte, you have been saying it for quite some time. If you think Darnold came here to not get a chance at some point.
To hold a clipboard all year. He know the broadcast, the voice of the 49ers on the radio side of things, Greg Papa, said this in the preseason. The gap between Darnold and Purdy is not that wide. And he said, wait until Sam Darnold masters his playbook. His arm talent is elite. Now, this is a voice from the 49ers, and I've worked with the guy for many years. I've known him for many years.
He gets his information from the sourse.
Yeah, he's not just saying things just to say things.
He was all over Brandon Allen for
we laughed
a
at
reason.
him. We laughed at him about Brandon Allen making the team up over Trey. It's absurd, but he threw it out there,
and he was right.
And it was accurate.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to dispute anything he says from here on out about the 49er quarterback spot. I know how much the play-by-play voice loves Sam Darnold. I worked with him for the draft, the lead up to Sam Darnold. When Sam Darnold signed, the look I got from him at the Chase Center Club at Chase Center during the Warriors game. Sam Darnold, really 49ers? I know the look I got. And that's why I say what I say about Sam Darnold. He didn't come here just to hold a clipboard. You want to say I'm controversial? Well, watch the way things play out Sunday. This can all be a moot point. Well, if Darnold goes out there and struggles. If Sam Darnold lights up the Cincinnati Bengals, that's a 2-game losing streak. I'm just saying, watch out. Watch out.
Let me defend Brock Purdy. I do believe in sports you can lose your job to injury. I think it sucks at times. I think it's unfair at times, but that's the reality. Like, that's life. Life's unfair. Trust me. Have you and I figured out that life is unfair outside of this, sports world we live in? Unfair. Life is cruel and harsh, it don't give a damn about fairness. Okay? That being said, I feel like Purdy has earned the benefit of the doubt to have a couple clunkers in key critical moments to be able to play through it. This is still a 23-year-old player. I understand. We are trying to win a Super Bowl. Right. I get all that. If it was about, acquiring whoever was the best person to help you win the Super Bowl this year, well, then they should have made a move to go get a more established quarterback. You started the year with Purdy. I feel like his body of work has been excellent. He has done everything you've asked him to do. Make plays within structure, make plays out of structure, get this team in and out and have opportunities to win games week after week. He's done that. Yeah, he was brilliant against the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I
thought it was one of the great passing performances I've ever seen in terms of anticipation and understanding where to go with the ball.
The greatest passing performances you ever seen?
I said it was one of the better ones recently. Recent memory. Right? At least let me clarify that. Yeah. And his anticipation, his perfect execution in terms of pre-snap, post-snap, reading the defense, knowing the playbook, throwing the ball downfield, throwing layered dimes. He had a couple of bad weeks, all right? I don't know if the concussion was part of his poor performance in the fourth quarter. It wasn't good in the fourth quarter. He was damn good, though, for 3 quarters.
Well,
not great, but damn good.
You know what? I thought Trey Lance earned the benefit of the doubt. I know he didn't put the tape on there.
Purdy's put together much more than Trey.
10 games.
Come on.
But what's that song? Ooh, yeah. What have you done for me lately? Ooh, yeah. What have you done for me lately is the Shanahan motto.
Well, then
I'm telling you.
I'm
not saying Darnold.
Shanahan.
Listen, I'm not saying you go bench Brock Purdy. Well, if you don't think Shanahan,
I get what you're saying.
If Darnold has an epic performance on Sunday, you know what we're talking about. These are the 49ers, so let's not act like Boo Boo the Fool. We know what we do here. Quarterback controversy is what we do in this market.